You just think about who is that person that I could go and create in that world. And then when it's time for you to show up for your business, that's who you're switching on.
Uh, Basically, I want to know what are some of the ways, like techniques or best practices that I can maybe use to help me get into the right mindset for putting myself out there a little bit more. Because I'm the face of my own brand, I can't help but feel that my introversion, I'm a very introverted person, might be stunting my own growth in a space that seems to be saturated with extroverts. So I don't know if anyone has suggestions or any sort of feedback for just kind of being able to put myself in the right mindset to put myself out there a little bit more. And yeah.
Pete.
Todd Herman.
I was gonna say Peter, Todd Herman. I would love to
Yeah,
hear.
either one of them.
Go.
I was just sitting down having dinner with my kids, so I had food in my mouth there, but heard everything. Ping me behind the scenes. And who was it? Was it
Seth?
Seth?
Yep.
Yeah, ping me on Instagram. I can share with you a few resources. I mean, the struggle of getting your face out there, especially when you're dealing with something that's probably a little bit sensitive, just has so much resistance built into it. But there's been a lot of people who've had a ton of success by creating a performance avatar for themselves, where maybe you're not putting yourself out there as, Seth Alexander, but instead you come up with basically a stage name for yourself as a coach. So coach whatever. So you can feel like you're leaving and partitioning off some of your personal side on the sidelines, and you're really shaping who it is that you want to go out and win in this area of your life. Custom built to help you win out there. Most people get so caught up in this world of authenticity and being authentic, and they misinterpret what it means a lot of times, where they go, yeah, but that's not me. I'm introverted, or I'm this. And the reality is no one is introverted. No one is all introverted all the time. We have many roles. We have many fields of play that we stand on. And so for you, just think about who is that person that I could go and create in that world. And then when it's time for you to show up for your business, that's who you're switching on. You're not switching on. You're not bringing just Seth Alexander into it. You're bringing CEO Seth, or you're bringing in, Seth, the porn coach, to that world. And then it helps you to bifurcate very easily and help you perform better.
And I have something,
Yeah.
Seth. Do you help people?
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Yes, you help people in a big way. And I was looking at your profile and what you do. And so my reminder for myself all the time, whenever I get worried about what people think of me, or I don't want to put myself out there and be visible, because I do get fear around that, is I think about the person that I'm helping, the person on the other side of the computer, or on the other side of the television, or on the other side reading the article that I wrote, or any kind of way that I put content out there. That person that's reading that needed that today. And because I put that piece of content out, or because they could find me and I was visible, I changed their life. And the work that you do could very well change people's lives. It could save relationships. It could save lives, literally. So every day that goes by that you're not putting yourself out there and making yourself visible and creating content for those people that you can help, is another day that they're not going to get that help. Or they're going to go pay someone else, or listen to someone else, or follow someone else that's not as good as you and doesn't care as much, simply because you're too worried about, what people will think of you if you put yourself out there, or you're scared to be visible. And I get it. Like, that's a thing we struggle with. But the difference between successful people and not successful people, and people that make an impact and people that don't, are people that do things that they don't want to do, and things that make them uncomfortable in order to serve somebody else. So Chris and I always say, hope, HOPE, help one person every day. And if you focus on the person that you're helping, and the person that could really use that tip, or that tool, or that quote that you said, or that Instagram post that day that could change their life, give them that gift. It's not about you, it's about them. And when you flip it around and make it about them, it's not really scary anymore, because it's just about service.
Yeah, man, Jen, that's so good. I got goosebumps twice. Jen obviously spoke to the mind. on what you're talking about here, Seth. And Todd spoke to something. Obviously, you might not know, but Todd wrote an incredible book called The Alter Ego Effect, and it's really finding that secret identity that will, have you do and come out and just like really be motivated about it. I want to tell you about somebody that I think practically you can go follow and see how they did it. You see, I grew up, my teenage years going to a youth group and going to church, and porn was a very difficult thing to talk about in church. Although I knew 9 out of my 10 buddies were dealing with it, looking at it, experiencing it, like many of them addicted to it. It was something that was like a bad thing to talk about. And I love what Craig Gross did. And you might not know Craig, but if you go search what he did, it's called Triple X Church, XXX Church. And I'm telling you, the movement that he started, he didn't make it about Craig, although Craig was the spokesperson and Craig was the founder. Craig created a thing 2 decades ago, and it's literally called Triple X Church. And I'd really encourage you to go check it out, because right when you pop onto that website, there's a thing called the 30-day porn-free challenge. There's no pictures of Craig or any of that. It's all about this movement. And so there's a couple of things that come up for me as it would be a great model for you to be thinking about. But the other thing that he did brilliantly is he went and partnered. I want to give you a little marketing now. He went and partnered with some of the biggest churches that had the biggest congregations in the United States, including Craig Groeschel's church, which Craig is the one that created the Bible app, which is one of the most downloaded apps out there. Like, it's ridiculous how much it's been downloaded. But he went and found these big partners and really presented the problem that was what was happening within their congregations. And through forming these partners, it made the marketing so much easier. So go look at that. I think it would be an incredible resource. And I love what Jen and I love what Todd said too, man. So, and just so you know, I love the work you're doing. I know the stats. I know the data on this really, really well. I was a youth pastor. It was a conversation that I had many of nights with many of kids, and the addictive, the way that the industry is created to change the chemicals within your brain is absolutely crazy when you know all of the data on this. And so the work that you're doing, just like Jen said, that's what you've got to remind yourself of when you look in the mirror every day. You remind yourself of the HOPE acronym or whatever acronym you need to be reminded that you're doing incredible work. So thank you for the work that you're doing.
Awesome. Awesome.
Sorry,
Thank
Chris,
you all.
if I could just give a real short follow-up thing. One thing you may want to think about, Seth, just because that will play to your favor. I think of someone like Peng Joon as someone who's really introverted, yet his program or his free content out there is all about how to package all of your social media work, in a few days for the next 3 months. And so, you may find it easier, and it's kind of a good practice anyways, to really try to go into that mode for a short period of time, produce all of that content, so you don't have that stress kind of continuously throughout the month. And then, you can be yourself, but really just kind of focus on it periods of time and then just repurpose it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Such a great answer. Seth,